Oh, Jesus, have mercy. Today we're going all the way to talk about something that will blow your mind. But remember, today is Thursday, the 20th day of March 2025. And today, several years ago, African people put themselves on the map of history. This is what is referred to as today in African history. Now today, in 1696, the army of Techikuma, who began an aggression, in fact what is called a civil war, in the Iguafo kingdom of the Gold Coast, today called Ghana, in January, in order to seize the throne, was defeated. Terms of peace were negotiated by Techikuma, continued in his ambition, and eventually succeeded in becoming Iguafo's ruler in 1700. Today in 1896, the second Matabele War, known as the first Chimurenga in the 21st century Zimbabwe, where the uprising was seen as a milestone in the defiance of colonialism, began with the murder of a policeman by followers of Mimu. Matambele's spiritual leader convinced his people and the Shona people that the presence of 4,000 British settlers in southern Rhodesia was responsible for drought, locust, plague, and cattle disease, and they must be driven out. Today in 1941, British forces retook British Somalia from Italian colonial forces 4 days after a beach landing of British and Indian troops accompanied by a Somali commando unit. And finally today in 1956, Tunisia achieved national independence from France. The capital city was Tunis, and it's remained Tunis ever since. Now the national population was only 4 million people. Today in 1956, a year before Ghana became independent of the Gold Coast. This is the African History Club. And today we're talking about the woman whose photograph you see here, Diane Nash. Diane is spelled D-I-A-N-E. Nash is N-A-S-H. She was born Diane Judith Nash, and she was born on the 15th of March, 1938. My brother, my sister, she is still alive. She is an American civil rights activist and a leader and strategist of the student wing of the civil rights movement. My brother, my sister, Nash's campaigns were among the most successful of the era. Her efforts included the first successful civil rights campaign to integrate lunch counters in Nashville. Oh gosh. Today we have the honor, yes, the honor to talk about this great black woman. Diane Nash was born in 1938 and raised Catholic in a middle-class family in Chicago by her father Leon Nash and her mother Dorothy Bolton Nash. Her father was a veteran of World War II. Her mother worked as a key punch operator during the war, leaving Nash in the care of her grandmother Carrie Bolton until age 7. Then she reunited with the family, my brother, my sister, after she was 7 years old. Her grandmother took a very good care of her, taught her the culture of the black man, and raised her in a very serene, refined manner. After the war, her parents' marriage ended. Dorothy married again to John Baker, a waiter on the railroad dining cars owned by the Pullman Company. Baker was a member of the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters, one of the most powerful black unions in the nation. As Dorothy no longer worked outside the house, Diane saw less of her grandmother, Carrie Bolton, who took care of her. Nonetheless, Bolton continued to be an important influence on Nash's life and was committed to making sure that Diane understood her value as a civil rights activist. My brother, my sister, remember we said she was raised a Catholic. She attended Catholic schools and was taught Holy Mary, Mother of God, full of grace. She was taught the holy and the sacred mantra of the Catholic Church. My brother, my sister, at a very early age, she considered being a nun. She didn't allow any man around her, let alone close to her coochie. Oh Lord. She also was the runner-up in a regional beauty pageant leading to the competition for Miss Illinois. Such a beautiful woman. Now look at the interesting thing that happened. When she graduated from Hyde Park High School in Chicago, she went to Washington, D.C. to attend Howard University, a historically black college. Oh gosh. After a year, she transferred to Fisk University in Nashville, Tennessee, where she majored in English. She acknowledged that she looked forward to personal growth during her time in college and wanted to explore the challenging issues of the time. My brother, my sister, it was in Nashville at the Fisk University that she was exposed to the full force of Jim Crow. And you know Jim Crow, right? All the atrocities meted out to black people, the racism. In the days when black people were not allowed to vote, racism was in full-fledged. It was the days of Jim Crow. She experienced the Jim Crow laws and customs, which had a serious effect on her and other black people. She recounted how she went through a lot of racism and maltreatment in the hands of white people. Outraged by the realities of segregation, Diane Nash began to show signs of leadership and soon became a full-time activist. Lord God have mercy. Hey! Her family were shocked when she joined the civil rights movement. Her grandmother was quoted as saying, "Diane, you have gotten in with the wrong bunch." But she wanted to be part of the movement. In Nashville, she joined the student movement. She went on and on, joining in so many demonstrations, including in February 1961, when she served jail term in solidarity with the Rock Hill Nine. I remember we talked about the Rock Hill Nine yesterday in Arkansas. My brother, my sister, when 9 people went to an all-white school and they decided to sack them because they were black. She joined that, and then she ended up in jail. Alongside the 9 students, they were imprisoned after a lunch encounter sit-in. They were all sentenced to pay $50, as the Nigerian would say. 50 American dollars. That was the fine for sitting at a white-only lunch counter. Ish. My brother, my sister, the Rock Hill Nine were friends, my brother, my sister, who had gone in to sit, in fact, at an all-white cafe, eating, and then they were taken straight to jail after court for hanging out in an area that was meant for only white people. Eish. My brother, my sister, she was also involved in so many other demonstrations to free black people. She would go on to serve many roles for the SCLC from 1961 all the way to 1965, whilst it was still under Martin Luther King Jr. She was part of the Freedom Riders. My brother, my sister, in Alabama. My brother, my sister, they wanted black people to be able to get the opportunity to do what white people were doing, including sitting anywhere in the bus, going to eat anywhere. My brother, my sister, where white people went. Today we remember this great black woman. Today we remember this wonderful woman who also helped to have black people vote and be recognized as human beings in America. My brother, my sister, today we remember this great black woman. We remember her distinguished service. She was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Joe Biden only in July 2022. Today we remember her. One great black woman who went through divorce, remarriage, and divorce, all because she stood very firm and spent all her time in black activism. Nash was portrayed by Tessa Thompson in the 2014 movie Selma. Today we remember you, Mommy. You have done what many people couldn't do. We remember you. And we just want to say thank you so much for being that woman. The woman